going up on April 1st.
An average of 26% over the last 5 years.
We need to isolate.
Enter the Beyersdorf. I will now compare your bill and needs with hundreds of policies.
Whoa!
Is that your bill?
No, this one's smaller.
Compare, select and save on health insurance with iSelect.
What about electricity and internet?
Australia, Coles Fresh Stickies have arrived. They're teeny, they're sticky, and they're in store right now.
I'm cool as a cucumber.
A free Stickies is yours with every $30 you spend at Coles or Coles Express. There's over the apple,
It's crunch time!
Cooper the carrot, Eddie the eggplant, and more. Stick them, swap them, collect all 24. Coles Fresh Stickies. Good sticky things are happening at Coles.
Harvey Norman, everything for the heart of your home. And plus, for a limited time, receive a bonus FOS gift card on selected products valued up to $500. Ovens, cooktops, range hoods, cooking packages, fridges, dishwashers, sinks and taps. It's all on sale at Harvey Norman. Updating, upgrading, or planning an entire new kitchen. Take advantage of 12 months interest-free. Plus, receive a bonus FOS gift card with selected products. Limited time only. Now at Harvey Norman.
Go!
There's a new essence in Herbal Essences. It's BioRenew, a blend of sea kelp, aloe and antioxidant. New Herbal Essences, bringing your hair back to life.
The game of football is about pain. I thought foot pain was going to be with me for the rest of my life. I'm so glad I met good feet. I'm so glad those arch supports are in my shoes.
See if they work for you with a free fitting and test walk at Good Feet Store, Katara.
Australia, as parents, we all know just how hard it is to get kids excited about fruit and veg. Well, the Coles Rainbow Challenge and my special rainbow recipes could be just the thing to help change all that. So, collect your free Rainbow Challenge chart in store so your kids can track their progress when they eat different coloured fruit and veg. Is that number 3? Whoa! And you can reward them with a personalised certificate when they do. The Rainbow Challenge. Good things are happening at Coles.
Hurry to the Better 2018 TV model clearance and grab a great deal on all your favourite brands, like the Hisense 55-inch 4K Ultra HD Smart TV for a simple low $8.99 plus 3-year warranty. Go local. That's better. That's better.
Hundreds of thousands of people travel on motorways across Australia every day, and cameras monitoring those roads have captured some interesting and frightening sights. Tonight, NBN News can show you a fitness fanatic's dangerous bid to exercise along Sydney's M2.
He hasn't broken down. He's not running to get help. This guy is just out for a jog. The problem is, though, he's running along one of Sydney's busiest motorways.
Really dangerous behaviour, really stupid behaviour.
Behaviour that's also highly illegal.
The ramps and all the motorways are clearly signed, not for pedestrian use.
As utes, cars, caravans and trucks whiz past within metres, this marathon man stretches his legs against the traffic on the emergency shoulder of the M2 at North Rocks. His every dumb move, broadcast live, beams straight back to the dumbfounded staff inside the motorway control room.
The M2 motorway has in excess of 100,000 vehicles a day, but fortunately we've got our traffic control room operators here.
As the runner reaches his limit, he changes direction, allowing camera operators to note he's wearing headphones, making him even more oblivious to his surroundings than before.
Wouldn't have been able to hear that ambient noise in order to be aware of anything that was going on the roadway.
Picked up by patrol, he was swiftly taken to safety before running away. Well, while this jogger's managed to dodge the traffic, the authorities and a fine, hopefully he's now realised this isn't the place for a little athletics, and he's now found a new and safer route to run, while sending a warning to anyone else who might be eager to exercise here.
Keep out of those areas where there's high speed, high volume traffic. Go down to your local park.
Tim Davies, NBN News.
A chiropractor is under investigation after he was filmed holding a baby boy upside down by his ankles. The shocking vision has renewed calls for the controversial treatment of infants to be outlawed.
The video is confronting to watch. A 2-week-old baby squirms as he's dangled upside down before a spring-loaded instrument is used to prod the newborn's neck.
We're going to come into here. He's going to squawk a bit.
The chiropractor then repeatedly taps on the infant's head.
I have to say that I was very upset after watching this particular video image.
It was filmed at a Melbourne chiropractic centre run by Dr. Andrew Arnold, who today wasn't keen to explain his controversial therapy.
No comment, thank you.
There is more to it than people, they just think it's cruel, but it's not necessarily.
While infant spine manipulation is legal, the Australian Medical Association has blasted the treatment, saying the science doesn't stack up.
There's risks of paralysis in a small number of cases, and also there's 1 or 2 cases of bleeding inside the brain from spinal manipulation in infants.
The medical regulator APRA and the Chiropractors Board are now both looking into these practitioners' conduct and say they will take disciplinary action if any professional standards have been broken. The incident bears striking similarity to one in 2016 when another Melbourne chiropractor was banned from treating infants after he was filmed cracking a baby's back. All of his restrictions have since been lifted.
They need to urgently issue a statement that makes it very clear that these types of practices on small infants should just not occur at all in Australia.
Overseas now, and one of America's most popular Democrats has announced he'll run for president in 2020, labelling Donald Trump a pathological liar.
77-year-old Bernie Sanders believes he can win despite losing the nomination to Hillary Clinton last time round.
In a crowded field of Democrats competing to take Donald Trump on, now there's one who's run this race before.
And together we can defeat Donald Trump and repair the damage he has done to our country.
Self-proclaimed Democratic Socialist Bernie Sanders, who lost the nomination in 2016 to Hillary Clinton, announcing his take 2 on the presidential election.
Revolution.
Personally, I think he missed his...
In the United States, Alexis Daesh, NBN News.
An aerobatic stunt has turned to tragedy with 2 Indian Air Force planes colliding in mid-air. Footage shows the aircraft clipping each other's wings during an airshow rehearsal, with both then spiralling to the ground. One of the pilots was killed, 2 others were injured.
Around 90 Jewish graves have been vandalised in eastern France. President Emmanuel Macron visited the cemetery, promising strong action. Meanwhile, thousands of people have filled the streets of Paris to condemn anti-Semitism.
A teenager who left Britain to join ISIL has been stripped of her citizenship. Shamima Bijam had been pleading with the UK government to let her return after giving birth in a refugee camp. Her family's lawyers say they'll appeal the decision.
Woolworths has had another win in the supermarket war, posting a profit of almost $1 billion. But there are stark warnings that falling house prices are starting to hurt the broader economy, which could be bad news for the retail sector.
The most significant warning comes from Treasury Secretary Philip Gaetjens.
Falling housing prices could also cause consumer spending to be weaker than forecast.
Gaetjens' warnings, with reservations, coincided with a cluster of giant retailers' profit reports. Among them, Woolworths, Westfield shopping centre owner Scentre Group, and Stockland, which owns shopping centres and develops big greenfields housing sites. CEO Mark Steinert said, "We expect further price declines in residential land of around 5% over this calendar year, concentrated in Sydney and Melbourne." Other retailers are concerned, but they're not seeing the full impact yet.
We know customers, whether they feel poor or rich, does dictate how they buy, so it's more a psychological confidence issue.
Woolworths is showing Coles a clean pair of heels right now. Half-year sales ahead 2.3% to $30.5 billion. Profit up 1% to $979 million.
The overall profit performance wasn't in line with the expectations we had.
But Brad Banducci says he doesn't expect a massive boost after the Agriculture Minister yesterday suggested a boycott on Aldi and Coles for not following Woolworths and giving an extra 10 cents a litre to struggling dairy farmers. Westfield had 535 million visitors in the past year, up 5 million, better than dire forecasts about shopping centre foot traffic.
Our customer traffic, certainly over the November, December, January period, was up around 2.2% in those 3 months, which is quite positive.
The shopping centre giant says sales fell for department stores, cinemas and jewellery stores. Strongest were general retailers like giftware and discount stores and services.
That is coming down to not just places where people buy stuff, but where people are also going to be entertained and, in effect, consume things on site.
Ross Greenwood, NBN News.
He was singled out in the Royal Commission for a lack of remorse. Now the outgoing boss of the National Australia Bank has been given a golden handshake of $1 million. Andrew Thorburn's huge payout pales in comparison to what he's giving up, nearly $22 million in unvested company shares. The CEO quit in the wake of the Commission's report.
The Australian share market closed lower today. Rio Tinto saw a big jump while the major banks went backwards. The worst performer of the day was Cochlear. Its shares slumped by more than $5. To commodities, and both gold and oil are trading stronger. And the Australian dollar is mixed against the major currencies. It's buying around 71.5 US cents.